What is the wildest dream that you've ever had?
Wildest dream, as in a dream, what I would like to actually happen, or wildest dream, a real dream in my head at night?
Why don't you tell me the one that you prefer?
And my wildest dream for the band would be just to sort of have a really, really, really good gig. You know, sometimes when you're actually playing a gig and it all gels together and everything sounds really, really brilliant, the audience are just standing there. And then there's other times when you play badly and then the audience are really, really liking it, and you're thinking, I'd like them to align a little bit more often. But I prefer when we actually all play well and I don't give two hoots about the audience, but it'd be nice for everybody, you know, to have a really, really great gig. That's my wildest dream. We do some bigger gigs, you know, gigs where, you know, lots of people there jumping around, dancing, having fun. But also I like to be dramatic with the band as well. I love to sort of, I think with Salt we kind of do like to try and scare people as much as kind of draw them in, be a kind of bit more emotive, especially Sharon with the lyrics and things like that.
Our drummer thought I was so old, I just didn't even look old, I looked like dust. So we were thinking that as a name, because I found it really funny, but then I thought Salt was better. Still a bit dusty, but a bit grittier.
I should have guessed, but now I guess I know for sure. You're hurting still, it makes me kinda nervous to know you wanna walk the highway with me. The losers don't get anything for free. Highway with me, the losers don't get anything for free.
A few years back, my dad showed me some videos of The Who because he's a massive Who fan. I saw Keith playing as insanely as he always did, and I just took to him and I thought, I play a wee bit of drums. Jesus, I want to play like that. Even just like how energetic and generous he could be. It's like, he seemed like a really decent guy, at least superficially, so I just thought I'd take influences from that. The bits that I liked about him, left out the bits that I didn't. Took influences from other drummers and just people in general, so that's just the way I am. I'm better with it these days, I'm more controlled now, but back in the early days of Salt, even in like ballads, I mean, we've got one song called Kicking Back the Guilt that's sort of a nice wee mellow pop kind of song, and there's a couple of massive fills that I used to incorporate in there that were just completely inspired by Keith. And maybe it was too much, but maybe it added a sense of energy, I don't know.
I actually thought I had kind of written love songs, and then my oldest child came up and said, why are your songs always so dark? Why can't you write a happy song? And I said, well, I have written happy songs. And then she went through all the songs, and every single one of them wasn't happy because of certain words in it. And then we've got Gallows, which has the most deaths in it. It's got 3 deaths in it.
All the bands coming up just nice and really gritty again. They seem really punk. We've had sort of waves of just absolute fucking boredom. But at the moment, there are some absolutely amazing bands, young bands out there.
You've got the wrong man and I'll tell you who it is. He sleeps beside me and he'll murder me for this.
What is your process like writing music with with the band? Where does the inspiration come from? Where does the melody come from? And how is it like interacting with the other members in creating a song as a piece of art?
Well, sometimes like it just comes out of kind of like a riff. I think one time Simon was just playing a bass line, and I noticed he was doing that, so it's a minor chord over that, and I'll just do something, and then it all just come together, and then it just becomes a big jam, and then it becomes a big kind of melting pot of ideas and what we can actually do with it. It's really that's what I kind of enjoy doing. I think that our best songs are the ones that just come out from off.
Time was not on his side. Gallows had stolen his life.
Jamie's the drummer. He's really good at composing, and he's always coming up with jazz chords and things like that, and I'm always trying to simplify them and try to make them kind of more work and we come from that angle as well. So I enjoy sort of taking somebody else's riff and putting my own slant on it, and being, you know, and obviously Sharon does all the singing and like does all the melody, you know, so all our songs come out not what we actually think they're going to sound like.
I can't get away from kitsch. I absolutely adore it. My conservatory is full of Cupid dolls and old 50s toys. It is my passion. When I grew up, we had no money, and I was always dressed really, really badly, and I got bullied to hell and back for that. I'm a very quiet and shy person, but I decided once I left school to shave my head and dress in vintage stuff in a scheming place, or I don't like a projects place where everybody had a really bad reaction to it, and I got hit a couple of times, and I got a lot of abuse just because of what I was wearing. But it was weird, it was like I couldn't stop because it was me. So then I moved to Edinburgh, which was a lot better. I had a lot less hassle, but I did still get some, and I was hit again. I can't get away from kitsch. I absolutely adore it. My conservatory is full of Cupid dolls and old 50s toys. It is my passion, and when I was at art college, everything I did was kitsch. It was all pinks and just strangeness, you know. In the band, getting that kitsch across is more difficult. So what I do, because the guys don't know, is quite often I will try and put it across in the lyrics. I actually think we are kitsch as a band because we look so bloody awful in ways, in an ugly sense, that is actually good. And that, for me, ugly fashion has always been a passion of mine. And we definitely do not come across as a boy band or whatever, you know. We are pretty damn strange looking.
When I see you in my dreams, I hope that life's not what it seems. You gave me everything and more, and then you hurt me like before. You said I was your favorite child. Hooked on your words, I acted wild. I know the game you play with me. I keep the girl while you walk free. Would you hold me? Would you hold me? Would you hold me? Oh, no. Could you pull me? Could you pull me? Could you pull me down? Yeah.
The song that means most to me on the album is one that sounds just quite nice, and it's called Kicking Back the Guilt. And I've been a real coward in the fact that I won't actually say what this song is about. I kind of just hope people will get what it's about. But for the first time ever, I'm going to come out. The song is about child abuse, and even though at the end of the song it seems like it's still going on, there is an intensity there to get away from that, to not put up with that. And so that song, it breaks my heart. Even singing it live, it breaks my heart. It's about my father. It's about my father and me. And I am bloody sure there's a lot of other people that have gone through this. And like I say, this is the hardest thing I've ever said. I have never, ever, ever mentioned this before. But that is what the song is about.
But it's too late 'cause I'm so tired. I know the game you play with me. I keep the good while you walk free. Could you hold me? Could you hold me? Could you hold me? Oh, no. Would you pull me? Would you pull me? Would you pull me down? Yeah. Pull me down.
Hi, my name is Simon. I'm the bass player in Salt. Being in Salt is a mixture of many ideas and viewpoints. Some good, some bad, and some ugly. It's fun versus frustration. But we do it because we love it. The music scene in Edinburgh is tough for local bands playing original material. There are only a handful of venues catering for bands like Salt. Hopefully they will all survive the present situation. I don't have any specific musical influences. Certain genres of music I like. Some I don't, some I just don't get.
I'm Paddy Kavanagh and I'm one of the owners from Leith Depot, which is a bar and music venue in Leith, in Edinburgh. We're going into our 5th year, and basically we're just a grassroots music venue with a capacity of 65, and just try and support the local art scene. Yeah, I've seen Salt playing here numerous times. Really good vibe, really good turnout for their gigs. Quite a unique sound. Yeah, pre-COVID we were kind of really busy, and there was a lot of venues getting together, Sneaky Pete's, ourselves, and kind of starting to put on shows, and it kind of getting more of a community kind of feel for Edinburgh music scene, because it's almost like Edinburgh is second pace to Glasgow because there's so much music venues there, and we just used to have like the range that we do here. It's all genres, like grindcore. It basically puts the night in the hands of the artist to do what they want to do on the night. So we don't really book the bands. The bands get in touch and say they want to do this, they want to do that. It's totally fine. So it gives them the room for the night to do what they need to do.
What got you into music in the first place? Did you come from a family of musicians, or did you find music on your own?
I found music on my own. My dad got me an amplifier, and I bought a guitar off my friend for £15, and it was homemade. It was kind of looked like it was made with knitting needles or something like that. It was ridiculous, but I was just only interested in making a noise. I remember that time my brother was playing a lot of Bauhaus, and I was thinking, I could do that. I remember 1981, 82, just lots of noise and distortion on the guitar.
How old would you have been?
14, 15, 16.
So that's really when you were interested in all music, or just making music?
That was when I was interested in making music, because I always remember when I suppose in the early days of my first band, which we were just pretty much a noisy kind of band. My dad actually said to me, he's sadly no longer with us, he said, your music's got no rhythm. And I says, all right, okay, yeah. It's got no tunes either. And I says, all right, well, so what does it have? And he says, well, I think that's my point.
The voice that calls within disturbs my sleep again, rattling round my head, never making sense. For heaven's sake, you bed your soul and let things slide. Your honesty just sucks. The voice that calls within disturbs my sleep again, rattling round my head, never making sense. For heaven's sake, you bed your soul and let things slide. Your honesty just sucks, way too real to hide. Maybe we are cursed, maybe not this time. Maybe we are cursed.
I find it really, really difficult to write an actual love song. I can write love from my heart to a certain person or something like that, but I always bring in what is about that person, which is quite often something quite personal and maybe quite tense. So when it's about me, it's exactly the same thing. I just bring up things from my childhood and stuff like that, and a lot of it isn't very happy. But one day, and I've said it to Jamie, me and Jamie work together very closely. He writes a lot of the melodies and I work on top of that. He's a bit like me though, and he goes down sort of E minors, everything's pretty awful route. But one day I would actually quite like to write a sort of I love you type song.
a blue-eyed boy. Your sugar lips feel bitter now. Shadows fall. I can see my way around this. I need to fly. I need to see.
What would you say to a young person, or someone not even a young person, anyone who at any point in their life wants to start creating music, maybe doesn't have an idea how, maybe starting off just like you did? What would you say to that person?
I would just say, just try and be original. Do something from the heart. Do something what you actually believe in. Don't try and copy. Don't try and just try and do your own thing. I'd like to think that we do that, but I think sometimes there's always influences that come out. But when you're in a band, like you've got say 4 or 5 different people, you've all got different influences. You all put your different slant on it, you know. So it always comes out of the melting pot totally different from what you first envisaged. So I just say, be yourself, and obviously just have fun. Just have fun, you know. I mean, I'm not adverse to learning more about music and things like that. I mean, I'm learning all the time. I think that's the one thing I'd always say is like, you're never going to get to a certain level you don't have to learn anymore. I'm just learning all the time, whether it's just about different styles or different recording techniques. There's always scope.
You wish me well.
When we find a compromise that we can settle on, that's when we know that we've got a good song nailed down. And that's when it starts sounding natural. And then from there, when we've got something established, we can work further with it in the future. I think all songs that we write shape and change throughout their time.
My real ambition, unless I want to go on stage with a Zimmer frame, is to get our music on film or on anything, because the one thing I do know is the songs that we're actually coming up with are absolutely fucking brilliant. And you know, if people don't like the look of me because of my age, or of Simon because he's not trendy or whatever, which is the case in a lot of the music industry, I know our tunes are good, and I just want anybody to pick them up and do something with them and get recognition. Why should people buy this record? Well, our songwriting, the crafting of the music is really organic and is really, really, really good. There's no things like boy bands or anything like that. These are our songs. We write these songs and they're bloody good songs.